Yes, it's a sweet spot.
It's
the sweetest spot of all. Notice that the great paid versus unpaid debate took a step a week or so ago. Washington Post, the great evangelists of unpaid media, stepping across, erecting a paywall.
Here's a question for you, because I know that you're a man who is careful with his money. What have you paid for recently? What are some recent? What are you
insinuating?
Cultural purchase that you've made?
The new Bowie record is here. It's exciting, except it's not really here. It's on iTunes. When I bought it, I paid $13.99, and there were 2 or 3 songs that I thought were spectacular. And of course, the smart person would say, you should have only bought those 2 or 3 songs. Think about the great unbundling, which is sort of starting to happen. One of the great sponsors of that is Netflix. Now, you tell me, at $7.99, what is a better entertainment spend?
Yeah, well,
I mean, all you got to do is watch 2 movies, right? And you're square, or even 1. What am I paying for when I subscribe to premium cable? It isn't exactly precisely access to the content. It's access in a timely manner, so I can be in tempo.
Not quite a similar thing, but I was. I have a teenage daughter who's like a huge Mumford & Sons fan. She's into vinyl, so I got her the vinyl record. But they were playing a couple of shows
in
Brooklyn,
this is gonna end.
in the Barclays Center. And I thought, here I am going to be a great dad. I'm going to get her tickets.
I know.
Because when I was a teenager, I used to go to the Providence Civic Center all the time, and tickets were like $25 or $15.
$15.
All my friends, we'd go see the Clash, we'd go see the Kinks, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Foghat.
The Civic Center,
man. Civic Center. Wow! So I go online to buy tickets for my daughter to see these cute little Irish folkies. I want to send her and her friend, and it's going to cost me $600. But people will pay.
Let's just talk music. I want to lay out my standards right here.
Yeah.
If it's a baby band, somebody who's on the rise, I've heard good things about. I'm going to see them at a bar downtown. $20.
What about Springsteen, Neil Young, Rolling Stones?
I'm never going to pay more than $100, and I'm going to feel like a schmuck when I pay the $100.
Theater? What about theater? What about here, right in this neighborhood, Broadway?
I'm always at TKTS. Even at half price, those tickets feel
they're still like $85. Obviously, there are market forces at work here that are based on what people will pay for certain kinds of experiences.
Right.
So, and that are also based, at least in some cases, on the costs of those things, right? That it's still really expensive to put on a Broadway play, and people have proven willing to pay that. The thing about concerts that's kind of interesting is, of course, when I was going to those shows as a teenager, the touring was to support the sales of the albums. It was to get all of the kids to buy those albums. Now that's flipped upside down.
I did a story one time on the Drive-By Truckers, and they said, well, thank God people can't download T-shirts, because that's what's keeping us out there. Which brings me to sort of the ethics of consuming content. I was writing the other night and listening to Pandora, and I don't pay for Pandora. I use the free service, and they'll have a window that'll pop up on your iPad that you're streaming. Are you still listening? We pay for every song. And I thought to myself, well, I'm still listening, but I'm not paying, and whoever's at the other end of this is
not getting paid.
It doesn't seem like the economics of it are very fair, and sometimes I feel like a real cheapskate.
You're paying the money to Apple or to Google or to your data plan.
But you're the movie expert. What do you think a movie ticket should cost?
I think a movie ticket is actually still a pretty good bargain.
I agree.
If you think about it.
If the movie is good.
But I think books are also a really good deal. You
Right.
know, a paperback book is like $17, $18. So here's the question. What do you pay for? What kind of aesthetic pleasure is worth your money, and how much is it worth?
And if you're one of these people, kind of a theologist of free, I never pay for it, explain your ethics to us.
Yeah, if you jump the paywall to get to us, if you're watching pirated, bit-torrented sweet spots, our children are out on the street because of you. How do you justify that?